Every airport in Utah needs a dedicated airport zone. So if you work for a city with an airport, here are some planning tips to keep in mind.
Hey, I'm here in the Provo airport this morning, and it got me thinking about airport overlay zones. So if you're in Utah, this is something your city needs to enact before the beginning of 2025, or if you missed it, there's still time, and there's going to be some default rules that apply. And you may be thinking, I don't need an airport overlay zone. You may be surprised to learn there are 45 airports in Utah, and the current regulations about these overlay zones apply not just to the city in which the airport's located, but to any city which has any land that's within 5,000 feet of an airport runway. So what does the Utah Airport Zoning Act require? It influences areas that are within 5,000 feet of an airport, and importantly, it addresses this conflict between the land uses around an airport. Because on the one hand, you have the city's airport, which needs low buildings and which you want to have planes flying in and out. And on the other hand, you have property owners who are disturbed by the noise. If you've lived by an airport, you know that airplanes are not quiet. So Utah enacted this statute, and it provides some default rules and then has all cities required to establish an overlay zone, which is just like a normal zone, like your single family zone or your commercial zone, except that has specific regulations targeting these nuisances that airplanes create. So the Utah Airport Act requires, on the one hand, that you notify anyone developing within the influence area, they call it, of the fact that there are going to be airplanes or currently airplanes. And then secondarily, if you don't have an overlay zone of your own already enacted, the default rule is that the city has to condition any subdivision permit, any rezoning, and any building permit on the landowner selling the city an navigation easement. This will prevent future disputes down the road over who has a right to either the quiet enjoyment of the land or the right to land airplanes.